I remember our two sons, Max and Felix, coming home from school. And it was one of those hot, sweltering, humid days. They had had PE running around the block there at the high school. They came home through our back door, kitchen door. They propped their backpacks down, got a cold drink from the fridge, stomped up the stairs, slammed the doors to their bedroom, and they were done. That was not the right time to ask about homework. But that is what home can be and is supposed to be, where you can just drop things, let go, unwind, and be yourself, where you don't have to hold it all together and be tight and keep up appearances, where you can, That's a little bit how I felt when we came home from a week-long of time in Massachusetts. My wife Sigrid loves weaving, so we came back home after a week there, and the bed and breakfast wasn't quite as comfy, and the bed was just not so good, and the shower was so tight I scraped my head 3 times in there through that week. I was ready to come home. Now, forget all the wash and everything that we needed to. I just dropped the bags, came home, and relaxing. So that home, that place where we can be who we're meant to be, loved and cared for, at peace inside, that's what we all long for in one way or another, don't we? So what is that home? What is that place that is truly home? And when I think about my life, I'm thinking back like I grew up in Romania, Transylvania. There was one home, a childhood home. Then I moved, there was a home in my youth. Then I moved again, there was a home as a young adult. Then we moved to Germany, there was home there. Then after several moves in Germany, we moved to Virginia. That felt like home. And now we're here, it feels like home. So which one is home? Where is home? I think when I would go back to Transylvania right now, like 30 years back, it doesn't feel quite like home there anymore because things have changed there. So home may be a location, but home is more, isn't it? It's a feeling, it's a sense of belonging that we get with people who care, where we can be who we truly are. And I think of right now, if we would go back to Virginia, visit with some of our best friends there that we made while living there, it just feels like home to be together with them because we feel like the heart and soul connection where it's like having met yesterday, picking up from years ago. It's just, okay, that is home. And we had this conversation at the church picnic just a few weeks ago, where Anna and Shane and Micaiah and we were talking, where is home? And they said, where is home? Where do you feel most at home? And Shane said, I feel most at home in your kitchen. I feel most at home at my aunt's horse ranch in California. That's where she feels this freedom of, wow, the expanse of belonging. Or that caring home in someone's presence who truly cares and who is truly there. So home is that place where we belong. And our scripture tells us the story of home is where you can go back when you messed up big time. Jesus is meeting with people whom the officials, the scribes, those in charge thought of, they're the lowlifes, they're the scum, they're the you don't mingle with those people. Jesus is caring for them. Jesus is with them together. And I love the idea that Jesus met with tax collectors, with sinners, with outsiders, with people who felt ostracized on the margins, because Jesus didn't feel better about himself or being better than they. That's deep, isn't it? So Jesus mingles with them, and he tells the story of the prodigal, the one who ran off, and who is welcome home. Now, he had messed up big time. When you ask for your inheritance, it's basically him telling, Dad, you're dead to me. Give me what I want. So Jesus tells us that is who God is. And that is who Jesus is. We can come to Jesus when we feel like we messed up, when we feel like we don't belong, when we feel like outsiders, when we feel like I failed, I betrayed someone, I fell short, just I'm in need of grace. And that is, I think, one thing we can offer other people. When we are called Christians, or when we call ourselves Christians, in that name it means like we are one little Christ. We're one little Christ. We're someone who feels tired. We're someone who is worn out. For someone where one who is longing to belong can come. Be welcome, be embraced, experience that extravagant hospitality. And I think this longing in our hearts for home, for belonging, that is a precious, amazing gift that we have. And my experience is, when I see people and experience people, those who traveled a lot, those who had to give up home, those who felt what it is like not to have a home anymore, they're the kind, the generous, the caring, the welcoming people, because they know what it feels like. And it's one of the greatest gifts we can give people here at St. Paul's, where each and every one of us is a host. It's not our place, it's God's place, and we're God's people, welcoming each other with our own difficult parts into the place, into the presence of God. So home, what is home? Where is home? It is definitely a physical place. We come from traveling, we come home, and that bed feels wonderful to be in your own bed. Prop your feet up, get a cold drink, and relax. That is home. But home is more. Home is the place of belonging, where people care, where you're welcome, where you belong. Home as relationship. And then I deeply feel that home is also an expression of faith. When we feel in between, where we trust and where we get a sense of, I'm at home with God. I'm longing for that home. I'm at home with Jesus. No matter where I am on the journey, someone is walking with me. And one day, I hope that will transform into the true home. Right now, we get bits and pieces of that, not the fullness of it. And until then, my friends, I hope you will provide a little home for others who are on the margin, for those who feel lonely, for those who feel like they don't belong. Until that home, let us be a little bit of home for others. Can we do that? I think we can.